And we are indeed back with more Glover! This time all of the controls have been appropriately worked out. Yep, we're in Atlantis level 2 now, and you come across this cracked wall here in between these 4 pillars. All you have to do is smack it by holding A. Boom! Hello, secret entrance with lots of garibs. 10, if I remember correctly. And 9, and on top. Yep, those were always ones that I missed playing a number of years ago, whenever that was. Smash these. Hopefully these segments will not all be just one level each, but, you know, it's like, given the drunkenness of these keyboard controls, and it's not even necessarily that it's me using a keyboard, as much as it's just these controls. That was the one thing I always didn't like about this game, was how hard it was to control. There we go. Otherwise, it's actually, like I said, one of my favorite games. But, we get more nice music this time. It's one of those things that you just kind of get used to fairly decent controls in other video games, and then when it's like you have to... And again, like I say, it's not the fact that I'm using a keyboard, it's just that Glover himself is very... And the controls sometimes can be delayed. Like, you'll be trying to go, and then it's like, oh wait, I was trying to jump, and then I ended up doing a cartwheel instead. See? That's exactly what I'm talking about. And as I was playing through this game earlier today, I kept saying to myself, what I wouldn't give for Project 64 to have some type of rewind. You know, I've got save states, which I'm going to go ahead and throw since I'm doing so well without dying. But yeah, the fact that Glover slides, I mean, sure, it makes him realistic and whatever, but... And then he does that sometimes, like, he just sits on the ledge. It's like, what the hell are you doing, man? I don't know. And then you get this first checkpoint and go down here, and then everything else, pretty much, if you don't slide off, is straightforward. Yeah. And in my run earlier, what I was doing, I kind of went through all the, or as many levels as I could. And because I admit I did have to look on GameFAQs for where some of the other garibs are. This is... Even in the first one, I never really did figure out exactly where they all were and shit like that, so... And this one, for the water, you want to go ahead and have... It's a small one. Any ball will do, as long as it sinks to the bottom and hits this thing. And that'll open where our main goal is, which will be fun. And then you can get it right back up and kind of do a little bounce there. And once you get into a certain amount of shallow water, you can be pretty much bounce on it, still have it and everything. Yeah. I guess with the Super Nintendo ROM, it sort of spoiled me with the rewinds, which is something that not every other emulator can do. This is a cool thing, it'll make you nice and big. And what you have to do is just push it over. And you can do this as a normal-sized Glover, but when you're a giant, it's easier to do. Obviously. Come on. There we go. And the rest of the garibs, the other 7, are actually These other 7 were the ones that I always had trouble finding. Because here's what you have to do, and that's something that you can hit, it'll drain the water, but since you get the metal ball down in the water, it sinks anyway, and you don't really need it. Here all you have to do is jump and ground pound while on the ball. And then that propels you higher, and you can land on one of those, and hello, other 7. Ah, whatever. I don't need the maximum amount of points, that's not what we're going for. Yes! Yes! Thank you. Huh! Oh! And yeah, after a certain height you can't double jump, but that's okay. Doesn't, like, kill him, necessarily. And here we are, and if I have any problems similar to last time, I'm gonna go ahead and be right back. I have no idea why that happens. Anyway. This is one of the less fun levels because of how... that for starters. Ow! Because it's actually kind of long, if I'm honest, for a first, like, segment. I mean, you know, like a first world. Like the other ones can be expectedly long, but this one just kind of carries on, and there are a bunch of different secret locations and all this stuff. Yeah, come on. Actually, that comes in the next level. Spoilers, if you didn't already see it in the opening screen, the next level is a circus. Come on, what angles? Okay. Work with me, camera. There we go. Work with me, boy! Yeah, there are 80 this time, and there are a lot of hidden ones. And they're... that's fine. Shit! God damn it. I'm not gonna go all the way back to wherever I didn't remember to throw a save state. I don't know why it's bugging out on me right now. I'll just go with it. Come on. Right. You want us to go this way? We'll go this way. Throw a save state here. It's as good a place as any. While I'm not, you know, while I don't really have anything to talk about right now, I'll go ahead and mention, today I finished, I have a Netflix, and one of the problems I have with my Netflix is that I never watch the movies right away. So I've got like 17 DVDs in my DVD queue, and of course none of them have been sent because, shit. And no, I don't shit. Well, yes, I do, but... what I had was Dogville. And if you want to watch it, don't. Because it wasn't, you know, not even that it was necessarily a bad movie. The reason I watched it was because I'm a fan of Lars von Trier. He's a Danish director. Don't know if I've mentioned in other segments. He's more obscure. He has one film out that my girlfriend and I really like, Antichrist. It's not about, you know, the devil or anything necessarily. It's more like a psychological study, really. Okay, don't die. Figure out those 1 or 2? 2. 3? 3. Okay, I don't have to backtrack all the way down here. Okay. Save there. But Dogville is this movie by Lars von Trier about basically the Netflix described it as Lars von Trier's meditation on small-town America. And it depicts basically this little town, appropriately called Dogville, in like Depression times, sort of. It's like, you know, more like the 40s or 50s. Made in 2004. Nicole Kidman stars in it. Paul Beatty, I think, is in Legion. Terrible movie. Not because it was scary, but because it was not good. No, you don't. Oh! Sorry. Nope. Damn it. Oh, come on. No, no, no. Okay. Yeah, you just walk right on past me. And basically, Nicole Kidman is running away from mob gangsters, who we... Spoilers for anybody who wants to watch it. Have you turned off your volume yet? Okay. Well, basically, she's running away from mob gangsters who we don't find out until later in the film that it's her father, who she's running away from because she doesn't want to be in the family business of basically murder. She doesn't like him, all this good stuff. And what ends up happening is she goes to this town in the mountains that has a population of, I don't know, 0, practically. It's got a population of 15 people. It's got anything, it's got everything anybody in the town could ever need. Basically. And it just shows them, you know, they don't trust her right away, but the one guy, Paul Beatty's character, like, sort of falls in love with her. He comes on to her a little bit and tells her, you know, you have to work to you know, get what you rightfully deserve around this town. And that's... oh, shit. No! Oh, my God! Okay, that's not so bad. Basically, that she has to work to get what is rightfully hers around town. Don't you run into... Alright, and to stay in the town. And there's like there are a bunch of families that she helps out, an old man who's like blind, all this stuff. And I know it's, first of all, it's Lars von Trier, so it's not, it's set, oddly enough, it's set basically on it's set like a play, not actually set like a movie. It's in on a stage, but the sound effects make it sound like it's been shot outside in the appropriate settings for every different scene and all that good stuff. So basically, she ends up doing all these things that the people ask her to do, earns her pay, basically. Her pay is being able to stay in the town away from the mobsters. Come on. And her pet, and she, you know, does all these chores for old people and everything. Thank you. And ends up, you know, getting on the good side of some people. And it's not a bad film, like I said, but it's so boring, long-winded. I didn't think that the filming itself was necessarily anything great. The characters were just okay. All that stuff. It ended up not even... It wasn't very entertaining, and in the end, not to spoil too much, but people end up dying. Ah, shit. Come on. The people who she has come to love and everything... I hate to say this. No, I don't. Basically, her mob father... convinces her to come back to the family business, and she ends up killing these people. These people that basically took her in, and a lot of them are just, you know, trying to get by in small-town America, all this stuff, and it's so long-winded and precarious, drawn out, all this stuff. After a while, it just got really boring. And like I said, I'm normally a fan of Lars von Trier's stuff. What are you giving me here? No. Stay. I'll make you stay. There you go. Really? Where was I? God, whatever. Just get rid of this dang thing. I mean, might be here a while.